Apple's iOS 26 has had some major design changes this time round, and I've got to say I quite like the new liquid glass which is on this phone here. But in this video we're going to focus on all the Apple CarPlay changes, and this year specifically, there's a lot of changes. Let's show you. So yes guys, first and foremost are the major design changes on iOS 26. Now they actually announced this back around about June time on their WWDC, which is the Worldwide Developers Conference. And funny enough, for those of you that didn't know, this final version has actually gone through a variation of a few changes over the past few months. First there was liquid glass, which looked actually quite good in some menus, but then also it looked absolute garbage, and it's been actually retracted and refined a few times, so I guess this is the final version. And I've got to say, compared to the previous version, I actually quite like this. I think this is quite a neutral ground. I think this is what Apple were doing, testing how far they can push this liquid glass. Now, aside from the liquid glass feel, there's also some rounded icons and rounded UI elements. So for example, if we go on the phone, you'll notice this top part here is now all rounded off. And same goes for on messages. There's just a lot more kind of a fluidy, kind of floatier design cue on the whole operating system. Yes, you can also pin stuff to the top of messages now. We'll get to that in a minute. But staying on the topic of design cues, you can now customize the icons. So if we go into settings and then go to customize icons, you can now change it from default to dark. So yes, you actually have a dark mode on Apple CarPlay now, which is quite good. And you can have it set to always or change automatically, funny enough, like what I have enabled on my phone anyway. And then there's also this clear mode as well, which, well, if we back out of this, you can see it just adds this almost sort of like ghost effect to everything. But yeah, clear, just literally like glass, following that theme from liquid glass. Honestly, I don't know if I will use that. I might have to try it. It might grow on me, but I'm going to stick with the more colourful, vibrant one for now, probably on dark mode. Now, yes, finally, there are some new wallpapers on Apple CarPlay iOS 26. So if we go in settings, go to wallpaper, and yes, here are some new wallpapers. Now, annoyingly, all the older ones have now disappeared. You can't select them, so you have to choose these. So I know instantly what a few of you are going to say in the comment section, Apple, please give us the ability to do custom wallpapers. I agree. I think custom wallpapers are well overdue. I guess this will be an iOS 27 thing next year. But hey, there are new wallpapers. I quite like the blue-green look of it at the moment. But yeah, it would be nice to see some other ones, I guess, other than these default ones, because the green one's okay. But yeah, we just want custom wallpapers. Come on, Apple. A new feature also on iOS 26, it allows you to actually change the text size on CarPlay now. So yes, this was introduced a few months ago on the betas or the betas that have come out. This is on accessibility and then text size, and you can actually adjust this all the way up to 135%, which is obviously quite useful because, you know, some of us might need reading glasses or short-sighted or, you know, far-sighted. So yeah, welcome changes to see everywhere. Now, the last design feature I just want to touch on before we move on to the main cool features, when you receive a phone call. Traditionally, when you receive a phone call on CarPlay, it occupies the whole screen like this. So if you have the sat-nav on, you now can't see where you're going. However, on the new one, it now looks like this. So this is much better. And yeah, just a simple tap on the bottom to accept or send the person to voicemail. It's so much better because now you can obviously see where you're going on the sat-nav. Now we've done all the design stuff, let's go through these main features which now enhance your CarPlay experience. So, the thing that I quite like now is this bottom left thing here. So, you know when you have like a calendar appointment or something like that in your calendar and it pops up there, you can now dismiss that notification by holding on that icon, and you can now clear it for that drive. So quite useful if you have, like, I don't know, a private event on a calendar and you don't want your passengers to see it or something like that. You can clear it for the drive, and of course when you get back in, it'll come back up again. And I know what you're thinking, Nick, that's not calendar appointment, that's live activities. Oh yes, we'll get to that in just a second. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that when you send text messages, you can actually pin your favorites to the top now. So pretty good, because you've been able to do this on your phone for quite a while. So now you can just literally tap on the top and...
What would you like to say to Nick?
Send a message just like that. I'm just going to press cancel because I don't need to send a message to myself. But on top of this, you can now pin your favourite music. Yes, so as long as you use Apple Music, this is a feature just for Apple, if you go onto Apple Music now, you can pin your favourite albums and artists to the very, very top. And you can also have it automatically download when you pin something as well, which is quite good. So yeah, just chuck a few albums on there, ones you listen to all the time. This is such a welcome feature. I love this because there's been a few instances where I've deleted an album and re-added it just so it's in the recently added. So now I don't need to do that anymore. You can just pin your favourite stuff. Now, another cool thing that Apple have introduced is a thing called auto mixing. Now, this is actually on the phone itself, which I have in here. So let me just show you where this is. This is under settings on your phone. So go on there, then go down to apps on the very, very bottom, and then find music in this list. And once you're in here, you'll see a new thing that says song transitions. And in here you can choose between Automix or Crossfade. Now Apple actually introduced Crossfade, would have been about 2 or 3 years ago. That's where it basically introduces the next song as the current song's playing. But Automix is, well, as it says here, songs transition at the perfect moment based on analysis of the key and tempo of music. So it's almost like a DJ, sort of. Here's an example. That was really good. So yeah, that's mixed 2 songs together there. Auto mixing is pretty good. Now for this next one, Apple have actually introduced something which I didn't think they would actually ever do. They've included a thing called announce messages. So previously, when you send a text message, it can automatically send it and then there's like that little kind of animation and then it just sends. But now you can have a text message just automatically read itself out. So on here, if you go settings and then go to announce messages, toggle that on and then turn on announcements. And then if you notice over there on the bottom right, you've got like a little alert symbol with the kind of speaker. This means that the text message is going to be read out no matter what. So say you are just on the home screen here and I send a text message to this phone that's connected, it'll just pop up like this.
Nick said, "Hi guys, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button."
That was cheesy, I'm sorry. But if you are loving the video, hit that subscribe button. Now, of course, I appreciate that you might not just want to share your text messages with everyone in the car. So if you have that on most of the time, you can actually turn this off per drive. So if you go into settings, and you can silence the announcements. Or if you go into announce options, you can go in here and you can actually change it. So you can have it always silenced or have it remember the previous settings. So there's a bit of flexibility on that front. For now though, I think I will turn that off, but hey, useful if you're always soloing car journeys all the time. Now Tapbacks are also enabled now for CarPlay. So this is when you hold your finger on a message, like on iMessage, and then you basically just do a thumbs up or thumbs down or haha, that sort of thing. All you do then is just reply and tap back, and then you can do this. So you can do love, thumbs up, thumbs down, haha, exclamation, and obviously questions. So we'll do love. Apple Maps apparently has had a few new improvements as well, and I have seen some videos online where you can now do pinch to zoom. So this is where, you know, traditionally where you zoom in and out like this, but apparently you can pinch in and zoom out now on here. Now that actually doesn't work for me. Now I'm guessing that is probably down to the car brand or car manufacturer if they've enabled multi-touch support for CarPlay. I'm presuming so. So guys, let me know in the comments if that works for you, or if it doesn't work for you, then we can kind of see what cars it's working with. But I have seen some people do it. Sadly, it's not working for me. This is a Mercedes-Benz A-Class. But Apple have enabled that feature. I just assume it's just on certain cars. Speaking of Apple enabling features, I've also seen some reports online as well of Apple enabling video playback on CarPlay. Now, I have searched everywhere for this. I can't find it anywhere. So I'm assuming that either car brands or manufacturers need to enable this feature for the car or something similar. I'll keep you guys posted if I see anything, but at the moment, at the time of recording, I haven't seen anything regards video playback. Now, another cool thing is Widgets. Now, Widgets is brand new for iOS 26. This was never on any previous version, So you know how you've got the main screen here and you swipe across and then you've got the dashboard that looks like this, and don't worry, we'll go through that live activities in just a second. But if you swipe across, you can now view widgets. So yeah, look, we have widgets now. I guess this is the closest we're going to get to an Apple weather app for CarPlay, but hey, there's a weather widget on here now. So on the left here, you can swipe. You've got the time, got the today's date, your appointments for the day, and then music. There's also third-party apps, which I'll get onto in a second, or widgets, should I say. Over here, we've got the weather, reminders, that's Apple reminders, and then photos. Obviously on this phone, I don't have any photos saved. But if you want to view more of them, all you do is go to settings on your phone, scroll down to general, then go to CarPlay, and in here, find your car on this list. So this one's called MBUX. Now, of course, you've got apps like before where you can delete apps or move them around, and that's actually how you change the app layout on the home screen. But look, widgets. And in here, you've got stack 1 and stack 2. Now, I should add, not all car multimedia systems are the same size. I've seen pictures of people's CarPlay elements on screen having 1 stack of widgets. This one has 2, but I've also seen stack 3. So it's like a third stack, like a third, like kind of almost like column. So obviously this varies depending on the car screen and how big it is. So yeah, just obviously something to test if you're going to use widgets going forward on the car. But yeah, it will vary, so obviously just bear that in mind. But yeah, we saw those, clock, calendar, music there. But if I go to add widget, look at all of these here. We can even add flight information. So let's add that, and that'll be now on the stack 1 at the very, very bottom. So yeah, look at that. That's from an app called Flighty. But if I delete that, we've got all sorts on here. There's photos, music, weather, batteries, notes to news. And if you keep going down the list, there's even other. And it says on here, these widgets are not optimized for CarPlay. I've tried a few of these, and yeah, like even if you put Safari on here, you can't browse the web on here. I'm not actually sure why that's in there. Maybe they're going to make some changes to it, or maybe they'll add some functionality. But again, I'll keep you guys posted. I'm not sure why sleep would need to be on there though. That seems really strange, but hey, I like all these functionality. I like all these cool things. So yeah, good to see that widgets are on here. Just adds that functionality. Although the next thing I was going to say was live activities, because I mentioned that a couple of times now. So yeah, live activities are now on CarPlay, which is brilliant because there's so many good use cases for this. One really good one is, of course, flight information. If you're driving to the airport, you can have your flight info on the screen there. And I'm guessing that if any changes happen on said flight, or if it's delayed, it'll tell you on the screen. So that's pretty good. Another one, although I'm not sure why you'd need to use this while driving, is your parking. So I'm currently in a car park here at the moment, and yes, of course I have to pay for parking because it's a car park. You can see there that I have 56 minutes remaining. To swipe between the two different live activities, if you have two at the same time, just swipe up and down on said thing, just like that, and you can toggle between them. Also, if you want to dismiss one for the entire drive, so say, I don't know, you didn't need to see the flight information, just hold on there and you can clear it for that drive, which then I'll just obviously leave the parking one. And if you've cleared them all, it'll look like that. So yes guys, there we go. That concludes this week's video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Were you hoping to see a specific feature that Apple haven't put on iOS 26? Let me know in the comments down below. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, see you then.